All right, hello, welcome back. We are starting math today. And today you're going to have a packet that actually looks a little different than every other packet because there's less on it in terms of stuff I'm going to ask you to justify and talk about because this is all about basic operations today. Like, can you add, subtract, multiply, divide? Do you know PEMDAS? Maybe we should write that down. What we're talking about today is, well, what is it going to account for? It's going to account for 8 to 15% of your math ACT. So we're talking about, can you like take your calculator? Can you put in a little addition, subtraction, multiplication, division? I believe that you can. Great. All right, a store, look at this. We're going to start out with some, you're going to feel so smart. A store advertises oh, by the way, what are we going to do here? I'm going to work through a smattering of these problems. You're going to work through the rest of them, show and work. Eventually, hopefully by today, I'll have a key up with work on it, but I will certainly have a key up with answers on it for later. The work may not come, but there will be one with answers, and you can certainly ask me in class to work any of these for you, and we'll have the whiteboards and you'll have desks to work on. But yeah, what am I going to do here? Work through a few of these, give you an idea what to expect. You're going to have what 59 problems today. I'm going to do like 15 of them for you maybe. And how long do these problems take? Well, math test. What is the math test? Take a moment to consider. Math test is 60 questions in 60 minutes. You don't have that much time. You have 1 minute per question. For most of you, you're not going to try and answer all the questions. For some of you, if you're trying to get under a 24, you're going to answer like 40 questions seriously. And then we're going to work quickly through the rest of them. We'll talk more about that later. Those of you taking the exam tomorrow, know that I will give you something for tomorrow. If you're trying to score less than a 24, take your time on the first 30 questions. When I say take your time, I'm talking about 40 minutes or so. The first 30 questions are the ones you're going to be able to answer and hopefully get them right. It gets harder after that. If you're trying to score greater than a 24, you just need to go quickly. You need to answer the first 30 questions in like a half hour, a little 20 minutes, somewhere in there. But I won't drown you in all that. For the most part, there are no tricks to the math test beyond keep moving and know the math. And the math we're going to talk about today is hopefully fairly straightforward stuff you can put in your calculator. If you don't have a calculator, send me an email. I'll send it to Marlene. We'll get you taken care of. So, a store advertises packs of chewing gum for $5 for $1.29. At this price, how much would the store charge for 2 packs of gum? If you don't have your calculator, I'll go get it out because, good God, what am I doing? I'm going to type in $1.29. Oh, I got 5 of them, so it's that much for 1 of them. Great. And if I'm going to buy 2 of them, multiply by 2, hopefully you can very quickly bust out and say, okay, that's going to be 52 cents, 51.6 cents as an amount. Great. Can you do some quick stuff in your calculator? Guys, notice it's going to give you words. It's not going to give you, it never says, what could it have said there? It could have said 129 over 5 equals x over 2. It's never going to tell you that. I mean, that's what you're doing there. That's what you're doing there. If you wanted to know, that's what you did there. But that's not how you do it in your calculator. You just type, divide by 5, multiply by 2. I recognize that's how you solve for x, but you probably don't think about it that way. You think about it quicker than that. So, hopping around, a group of 25 cells triples. Oh, great, triples times 3 in number every hour. Fantastic, Bell. I like how they're long this year. At this rate, how many cells will be in the group at the end of the 5th hour? Well, some of you might think, oh, that's an exponential function. And if one of you thinks, okay, well, duh, that's 25 times 3 to the 5th, congratulations, that's correct. But I don't think everyone's going to think of that. I think most people are going to say, okay, 25. All right. This is how they'd probably do it. They'd do 25, and they say times 3. Okay, cool. That was 1. And they say times 3 again. Okay, that's 2. And then 3, 4, 5. No shame if that's how you would have done it. You just sit there hitting 3, multiply by 3 again on your calculator. That's still pretty quick. Even if that's how you did it. You just did it in about 20 seconds, 60, 75. Similarly, you could have known, okay, yes, that is 25 times 3 to the 5th. Because what is an exponent? Repeated multiplication. You get the same answer, hot diggity dog. But, you know, you can do it either way. If you're trying to go quickly, this is the way. If you're not in a hurry as much, if you're, you know, I'm not trying to get a 36, you say to yourself, I'm trying to get 24 or something. No, that's fine. Times 3, you know, 75. Times 3, you know, 225. Oh, making me do this. I don't know why I'm doing this. 675, 20, 25, and 60, 75. Hot dang. You know, any of those are the same thing. Great. It's word problems. It's just a bunch of word problems. It's never going to say, here's the math, solve it by putting your calculator. It's going to give you the words. You have to turn into the math. You have to put in your calculator. Dang. Number 7, at a produce market, apples sell for, apples for $1. Great. And oranges for $1.75. Fantastic. The fruit is only sold in, whole bags. No division of bags. At least 1 bag of each fruit. All right, and spend exactly $16. What's the maximum number bag of oranges? I'm going to circle a word like maximum. Biggest, you know. And I see, what's the problem here? Oranges selling for $1.75. Well, if I want to spend exactly $16, I don't have to worry about apples because they're a whole dollar amount. But I got to have a whole dollar amount of oranges. Okay, so 1 orange, 1 times orange is 175. 2, what's 2? 2 is, what is that? I don't know, 350. Okay, so if I get 4 of them, that's going to be $7. Okay, so I got to have at least 4 of them, and it's probably going to be of 4s. Well, if I had 8 of them, that'd be 14. Oh, nice. So I got to, so I'm done. I've got my answer, 8. I can't buy 9 of them. What's the problem? Wouldn't have a whole number amount. I could have said 9 times 175 and said, oh, well, that's 50, but that's, I can't do it. You could have put it in your calculator. There's many ways you could have solved these problems. That's what you're going to find about these. I don't know if it's worth making a key because, it's add, subtract, multiply, divide. And going with words. It said exactly $16, and that ain't exactly $16. Keep poking around. That's how these work. There's like many ways to solve them. They don't have to be solved formally the math way. They can be solved informally, and that's how some of you are going to solve them by default, and that's fine. Number 10, I include, if you wanted to write a little phrase down to help you on number 10, number 10 has too many words. Good God, there's a lot of words here on number 10. Look at it. Kyla purchased 25 pieces of candy from Lasco's Candy Shop. Great, you say. 7 lollipops, 4 candy bars, 10 licorice sticks, and 4 gumballs. And if you were silly and stopped reading at this point and started doing math, you'd say, 7 times 9, 4 times that, 10 times that, 4. Maybe some of you did that. Don't do that. Why? The unit price of each is shown below. Okay, that makes you think, I got to do the math. No. Kyla's purchase without sales tax totaled $10.30. Oh. Did anybody try and total it? Did anybody see this problem? I can total it up. They gave you the total. They gave you some extra information you didn't need. Why? To mess with you. Lasco charges an 8% sales tax. Great. On each purchase, which is calculated by multiplying the purchase total by 8.08 and rounding the nearest cent. Kyla gave the shop clerk $15. How much change should they have received? Okay, so, all right, so change minus, all right, let's change equal to. Change is 15 minus the total, but we also got to subtract the tax. So, you know, how would you really do this? You'd say, okay, what's the tax on this thing? You'd say 10, I'll turn my lamp, sorry if it's dark, 1030 times, what is it, 0.08. Great, you just found the tax. It's 82.40. So you might say, okay, well, I got to add that to the $10.30. All right, so that's how much I should have paid him. But I paid him 15. So 15 minus, let me show you something on your calculator. Down here, above this little negative is answer. We've done all this work to come up with this answer of 1124. So what can I do? I can use my calculator to say, okay, well, I could retype it and mess it up, but I can also just hit second and that little minus sign or that little negative sign, and it's going to put the answer from the previous problem in and say, okay, that's how much change I thought should have got. 380. Well, it's going to be 8 because we would have needed to round it. Right. So what are we doing here? You can write these problems out with algebra. If you had wanted to write this problem out with algebra, it would have been, you know, $15 minus 1.08 times 1030. Why 1.08? That's the whole amount of the product plus the 8% sales tax. That's how you would have done it with some algebra, or with it's arithmetic. Keep going. Do you know how to find an average? A group of 6 people planned on spending $10 each to rent a boat. Okay, so 6 times 10. Okay, they were going to spend $60. Great. At the last minute, one person could not go on the outing. Oh no, only 5 people now. The others then paid equally for the boat. Well, they paid $60 total, and 5 of them went. 12. Congratulations. You know, what do we got? 60 divided by 5 is 12. Be ready on your calculator. Number 12 is, oh my gosh, it looks so easy. It looks so easy. How does a child mess it up? They don't know how to put things in your calculator. Remember, your calculator knows the order of operations, even if you don't. Okay. What do I mean by that? Essentially what I mean by that is you need to put parentheses around numerators and denominators of fractions. Otherwise, if you just put this in without those parentheses, it would have somewhere in the middle 1/7 divided by 1. You'd think you were dividing all this stuff on top and all this stuff on bottom. Without the parentheses, you're not. Put the parentheses on there. That's really all I'm saying here. Parentheses, 8 plus 1 divides 7, close parentheses. Divide by, what's on the bottom? 1, don't forget your parentheses, 1 plus 1 divided by 14. You could come up with common denominators. You could do that. Oh, but then you say it's, shoot, 7.6. I don't know. What do? You hit math, you hit frac. The math button is right here. Hit that math button. Hit the frac option, and it's going to turn that into a fraction of 38 over 5. What's the other way you could have done this? You could have I think it's a lot longer to do it the other way. So I'm gonna suggest you use math frac. What does that do? It turns things into fractions, and that's going to make your life a lot easier. You can get common denominators there. You know, you could have multiplied the top by 7 over, multiply 8 by 7 over 7. You can multiply 1 by 14 over 14. And then you could add 56 over 7 plus 1 over 7. But doesn't this look terrible? I mean, I like math, so it's not that terrible. And then you got like 57 over 7 divided by 15 over 14. Like, you don't want to do that. That takes so much longer. Put it in your calculator. Be done with it. What do I got? Maybe like, I mean, this one's like, can you put stuff in your calculator quick? 3/8 is too large. 5/16 is too small. You go to your calculator and you say, okay, well, what's 3/8? All right, 0.375. 0.375. And then you say, what's 5/16? You say 5/16. That's 0.3125. And then you sit there on your calculator and you figure out which one is in between. I'm not going to sit here and do that for you. But you sit there and you type division problems in your calculator quickly until you find one in between the two. Gosh, yeah, I just feel silly doing some of these. Ben and Chi are painting a room in the city recreation center, and they started with 4 gallons of paint. On the first day, Ben used a 1/4 gallon and Chi used 1.5 gallons. How many were left? Gosh, like 4 minus 1/4 minus 1.5. It's like 1.5. Oh, and that's weird to put in your calculator. 2.25. If you wanted to, you were uncomfortable, you could turn it into a fraction, but that's going to be a fraction you don't like. So 2.25, it's 2 1/4. Gosh. What's the idea on these? This shouldn't take you an hour, I guess is what I'm saying with these. Because what are you doing? You're typing stuff in your calculator quickly. Yeah, like number 18. It's like the same problem. So move quickly through these. I'll say on number 19, I'll remind you to give you some parentheses. But you can do these. Anything else I needed to work in here that I circled? It is putting stuff in your calculator, guys. I believe that you're able to do this. The key, I'm gonna post. I'm not gonna write a key out because so much of this I'm doing in my calculator. I just don't think it makes sense to show the work. I will give you a key with answers, but I'm not going to show you all the work because I'm doing on my calculator. So there you go. This will be due Wednesday, end of day, and I'm just wrapping myself up around here. Be due Wednesday, end of day. Good luck on your ACT tomorrow. Remember on science, don't read anything. Most questions are going to tell you where to go, and if you think you got to read, you actually got to word search. In math, you're trying to score really well, you got to move fast. You're trying to score mid-20s, take your time on the first half. Second half gets hard. Good luck. Godspeed. See you around.